Do you need something, traveler? I'm waiting on a friend of mine to bring me something very important. Oh, Versadu! My sweet little scaly friend! I was so Thank you for bringing Versadu back. He's my little king. I couldn't imagine life with... I asked them to trap some guts.
I've worked in far worse taverns than...
What's a jumped-up alligator gotta do to get a drink around here? My scales are dry enough to make a Vishkalil blush, and the barkeep says I can't afford the good stuff. Spare a coin? Let them try. You said Hook told you about this killer. He must be our last job. The one we got sent to prison for. He didn't tell you? We got greedy after living off caravans. The family caught us. We made a break for it and people got hurt. Thanks for ruining what's left of my bottle. I'll take my chances here. Besides, with my tablet, if you part with your coin for me, I'll follow you anywhere. But looking to save some coin? Lorena keeps all her records of her tavern in a ledger in her house. You may have to bust the lock and be sneaky. Really? It's a healthy amount.
As a servant of Dibella, I embrace different parts of myself to help others. I can be a doting mother, or a ravenous lover.
I will bring your murderer to justice, Father. This, I swear. You've come to the town of Ontis at an unfortunate... What other explanation is there? My father, Oberyn, was town constable. Not yet. First, I volunteered to... Your first town. Ontis attract... I was. Come. Tell me your thoughts, Deputy. You examined the newest grave markers. Give me your impression. Indeed. My father wrote that both the ranch and the quarry were working their laborers very hard of late. But prior to this, I never heard of a fever so the town leaders would have everyone believe. My father made no mention of feeling unwell, just that he was baffled. He described fatigue fever as a strange illness that was killing workers. Talked to some of the townsfolk. Just see my father's...
Welcome to the Stone Ship Tavern and Gambling Den, stranger. Looking for... So you're Yabrin's new deputy? Good. She could use the help. Constable Albrin was a good man. Kept the peace here. Made sure the workers, both native towns... We talked all the time. As I said, we were friends. He'd sometimes inquire if there was any chatter in the stone. Not much to tell. We're a small town full of hard-working people. Most everyone is employed by the Carvane Ranch or the Raxalee Quarry. The ranch makes a substantial profit providing food for the town and the region. While the quarry has had some success, since the war... It's the illness affecting the workers. Took Constable Albrin, too. We saw the first signs of it a few months back. He was? It's the illness.
If you part with your coin for me... Looking to save some coin? Lorena keeps all her records of her tavern in a ledger in her house. You may have to...
Despite rumors to the contrary, Carvane Ranch only hires qualified applicants. Seasoned ranch hands only. We have no time or inclination to train novices. And we especially have no... Ah, I see. I had an appointment to speak to her late father. Unfortunately, he succumbed to that terrible malady. Isn't that the nature of lawkeepers? To see a crime behind every event? Guilt is the source of every motivation? You really are new. The Baron owns Carvane Ranch, which feeds most of Westweald. This fatigue fever, as it has come...
Another worker out sick, and right after one of my best died in his sleep. You look strong. Interested in making some... Constable Ulbrin's daughter? Look, if this is about that conversation I had with Yabrin's father, I must have been mistaken. I don't know anything about the illness, other than I've lost more quarriers lately than I can replace. Briefly, I thought I noticed something, but I was wrong. Besides, he died before we could talk more. Listen.
Deputy, were you able to interview the townsfolk I suggest? I wonder what my father hoped. My father's notebook? It describes how productivity increased lately at both the quarry and the ranch. That two healthy people, not connected to the ranch. Let's rally at the Stone Chip Tavern when you're done, Deputy.
If you're looking for work, please talk to quarry boss Lorena. Yabrin's back? I assumed she was fighting in Cyrodiil, or guarding the Count's precious bear. If this is about Ulbrin's suspicions, I'll tell you. Did it? I don't recall any standing appointments. The constable always treated me with the respect I deserve. He never found it inconceivable that Emperor Leovic personally granted an... My business is none of your concern. We struggled in the past, and were almost forced to sell to Carvane. But we turned... I'm pretty sure I heard Lady...
The Carvane Ranch does not sell to individual buyers. This is not a general store. Might I suggest the markets in Skingrad? Or perhaps you can... Glad to hear that young Yabrin has gotten right to work. Her father would be proud. But I am uncertain as to what I can tell you that would help... I didn't realize that sickness and illness were now the purview of the town constable. I can tell you what I know. A strange disease has befallen workers at my ranch and at Raxley's quarry. Is it? No matter. None of this is a concern to me, and I have no idea how to help you. I have enough to do just to keep the ranch running in these difficult times. So if there is nothing...
You heard the Baron.
Well, stranger, you're back. Really? I'll amble over that safe.
Deputy, over here. Deputy, I have a message for you. The constable said she found something at the healers that pointed to a possible source of fatigue fever. She asked me to let you know, and that you should meet up with her. That I couldn't say. She wasn't exactly eager to share the details of her investigation in the middle of a town gambling den. Garvain Manor is south of town, on the Garvain Ranch. Watch yourself there. The ranch hands don't take cut.
What else is that?
Not much for the match wagers myself.
Pretend you never saw me, Traveler. I don't want to bother you. I'm looking to get away from the war in Cyrodiil, but don't know... No, I'm alright. I mean, I'm not, but it's better for both of us if you just moved on. I deserted my post in Cyrodiil. I'm on the run. At Coral. No, that's why I'm out here. I'm not sure. I need to leave these... I'm going to find a ship out of Anvil. Perhaps we'll meet again in the West, Traveler.
Another find for your pack. Ah, there you are. We should investigate Zegger's blind next.
Looking forward to seeing what you make with that.
Oh, good. You found it. Place used to be crawling with goblins. Let's see what's in here now.
Stand against us.
And see if it unlocks any of the doors. Not for that desk? Then let's find the lock that key opens. Over there. Try the key in that desk. They're after us. And Grakuk. I'll go warn him. You destroy this alchemical equipment. Fought well.
I won't let you destroy my life's work.
Damn. Mercenaries. Got the drop on me. Constable Yabrin. They busted. They made a point of shouting so everyone could hear. Fatigue fever is your...
Agreed to sign the confession, Yabrin. My patience won't last forever.
Over here. Get me out of these bonds.
Give me that. I'll sign her damn name. In case you haven't noticed, we've got company.
The deputy. Mercenaries! Kill them and dump the elixir into the reservoir. Come, Rexley. We need to get out of here.
Deputy, you stop the mercenaries. I'll go after Carvain and Rexley.
Let's get this over with.
I never did like lawfolk.
Spot well.
That's far enough, Baron. I've got him. What happened at the reservoir, Deputy? I can't believe I allowed myself to get captured by this bunch. If my fellow legionary... Good. And we have enough evidence to implicate them. Not only in the deaths of Healer Navama and my father, but in the deaths of all those workers. Their alchemist created an elixir that made the workers more productive, but at a terrible cost. That's another death to lay at their feet. And all in the name of profit. They plan to destroy the town, blame it all on me, and run off with their ill-gotten gold. I'm just glad you were here to help stop them. I'll present the evidence we collected to the magistrate in Skingrad. Help determine who takes over the ranch and quarry. Ontis needs those businesses to continue, though without the danger of fatigue fever. I hope my father can rest. That's a good question. I haven't... Betu! Where has that dog gone? Excuse my shouting, traveler. You wouldn't happen to have seen a dog running around? Large? Oh, it's a tiring ordeal. I'm visiting Westweald to execute the will of my late aunt, Lady Weatherly. The will my aunt's beloved dog, Betu, currently has in his slobbery little mouth. No thanks to Lady Weatherly's Yes, one Mizik Thunderboots. It seems he and my aunt are old friends, and he insisted on helping execute her will. I've had my fill, but you can find Mizik just down the road, searching the Weatherly estate for Betu. He has quite a distinct look. You can't miss him. Khajiit, wearing a broad-brimmed hat and big, heavy... My dear aunt suffered a terrible fall in her library. It's tragic. She certainly had many more years ahead of her. Now those she left behind are trying... I shouldn't be so flippant with my family's drama. Uriel, my cousin, disappeared years ago. My aunt believed he died in Varen's revolt. One Mizik Thunderboots. It's an...
Careful now. A cunning and foul beast has made off with an important document and played music for a fool. Perhaps you can help retrieve it? Ah, a wonderful idea from dear Aquilia. This one fears there is more afoot to Lady Weatherly's death. But our first clue is currently in the jowls of a dog. A hairy... oh, yes. Helping with the will is a cover. Not only was her death sudden and mysterious, but now her fortune is missing. Yes, yes. More tracks. The dog definitely went this way.
I don't know what you're playing at, but you were a fool to come here.
There's Lady Belena and her husband Uriel, our once long-lost son.
Be angry all you want, dear wife, but don't cause a scene. I'm here to stay.
Fine. Then you can help deal with your cousin and that inane investigator. Now, where could that mangy dog have gotten off to? I'm sorry, I didn't see you and the investigator there. This search for the will is rattling my nerves. Please, let us...
Losing my late mother's will has got everyone on edge. Hopefully...
There's Betu. Quick, grab the wheel while he is occupied. Quickly, grab the wheel.
Not now, Betu. Away with you!
With the will secured, let us speak with Edric.
Betu's always been an incorrigible sort. Best not to let him walk all over you. Apologies. I should introduce myself. My name is Edric Bressner. Yes, terribly so. I've been in her employ for what feels like ages, which is why I hope you'll listen when I say chefs are privy to more than just their employer's favorite dishes. Lady Weatherly hasn't been the same since her son's disappearance, and I'm not the only one to take notice. Fruit flies buzz around the sweetest fruit. I can't say any more. I only came to pay my respects and to leave this place behind. If I were you... If you insist on staying...
It seems the cook knows more than he is willing to let on. How very curious. Yes, of course. Along with the cook, there's Otho Florius, the gardener. Then, of course, Lady Weatherly's missing son himself, Uriel, back from the dead. And his wife, Helena, who has long lived at... Convenient, yes? Many questions surround Uriel's sudden return, and it should be noted that Pelena seems none too pleased about it. Mizik has of course investigated a number of failed marriages, but this seems... Yeah, excellent. The seal is still intact. We should return to the manor now that we've secured the will. I am certain our roosting vultures are keen to hear what it has to say.
I hope Betu's return means you retrieved the will, Mizik?
Yes, the will is returned and intact, thanks to my assistant.
Well, let's get this over with. Read it aloud, Mizik.
Yes, of course. Weatherly's walls hide a glittering secret, safely guarded by 4 loyal paws. Do not worry. Mizik and his assistant will get to the bottom of this.
I'm sorry. Is that a riddle?
This must be some sort of joke.
There he is. My faithful friend. Oh!
Strange. Betu doesn't seem too fond of you, cousin.
Nonsense. I'm sure Betu just needs time to remember me. Isn't that right, boy?
Feel free to speak with the others, but join me in the study when you are ready.
The estate feels hollow now, without her. And apologies for my appearance. Needed some liquid courage to walk the halls of this corpse. I hope you find who did this. Closer than most staff are with their lords and ladies, I reckon. I'd worked for her since before young Uriel had even been born. Feels like a lifetime ago. More memories to drown, I suppose.
I'm Otho, the gardener. Betu must like you if he followed you back. He's a good judge of character, you know. Lady Weatherly loved him dearly. I worry about what will become of him when all is said and done. Edric is making a bit of a fool of himself. It pains me to see him this way. I assure you, he's never acted like this before. Perhaps it'd be better if you asked him.
It seems I was right to ask for your help. Despite the mysterious contents of the will, this is the most progress we've made all day. I trust you and Mizik will see things through, and we can proceed with this unpleasant business. Fairly, though I wish I had made more of an effort to visit. I spent many summers here when I was younger, but school and then my position kept me away for far too long. She was kind.
All this waiting, and for what? A riddle. It's absurd. The sooner you and Mizik solve this riddle, the sooner our family can move on from this nonsense. To think we haven't even had a chance to celebrate Uriel's return. How embarrassing. You overheard that. Tensions have been high since his mother's passing. There are certain adjustments we've both had to make. Nothing some restful sleep can't solve.
I didn't realize Mizik had an assistant. A pleasure to meet you. I hope, despite the circumstances, you will find time to enjoy the estate grounds. It's beautiful this time of year. A small blessing while we grieve. Happy doesn't do the feeling justice. Ecstatic, overjoyed, yet still burdened by Mother's passing and the horrors of battle. But being surrounded by loved ones has...
Why would Lady Weatherly leave a riddle in her will? Perhaps you can make sense of it. Could the four paws mean Betu? They certainly are not Miziks. Perhaps we can find a clue here in her study. It seems Lady Weatherly led her own investigation into her son's death. It seems Helena made her feelings about the cook quite clear to Lady Weatherly. A note peeking out from behind the painting. Excellent eye for detail, friend. Interesting. A hidden note guarded by a painted dog. What does it say? Let Mizik see the note. An anonymous letter warning Lady Weatherly of a traitor. Mizik was told that Lady Weatherly died alone in her library. But could she have met with a stranger only to... Whether this note was sent by the killer or a kind soul close to Lady Weatherly, it confirms one thing. That there is indeed a traitor among us. And we...
If you are looking for the stranger who calls himself Uriel, he went to walk the estate grounds with Helena, and not a moment too soon. I was growing tired of their bickering. Of course, though I doubt I'd be of much help. I was tending to affairs in High Isle when I learned of my aunt's death. As her last living blood relative, I saw fit to see to her will, until my cousin's convenient reappearance, of course. As I understand it, she fell from her library's ladder while reaching for a book. If she had kept a modest staff on hand, perhaps she could have been saved. But I believe it was one of the estate's remaining workers. Helena would know more. She was here when it happened. Unlike Uriel. I know grief can cloud one's judgment, but is she not at all suspicious of Uriel's story? I haven't seen Uriel since we were teens, before I was sent to boarding school. And then he left to fight in Varen's revolt 6 years ago. Frustratingly, no. But my aunt spent countless coins searching for Uriel. Even if his story is true, and he lost his memory, she would have found him. I fear Uriel was lost to us in the... That's the thing. Since his arrival, Helena has been both overjoyed and furious. I suppose his return after so long could explain her mixed emotions.
If Aquilia was Lady Weatherly's last living heir, could she have expected to receive the missing fortune? A motive, perhaps.
foolish of you to think that I would just disappear.
My love, the investigator returns. We'll continue our discussion later. Apologies. Recent events have been overwhelming, to say the least. I needed some fresh air, and my dear Uriel saw fit to join me. Is there anything I can help you with? No, I was not. Lady Weatherly was kind enough to let me live on the estate when Uriel went off to fight, but I often spend my mornings walking through the woods. A ritual that has helped ever since Uriel's death. Absence, I mean. Otho Florius, the gardener, was the one who found her. He was the only one home at the time. Ever since I fired that horrible cook, Otho's been the only remaining staff member tending to the estate. Yes, I caught Edric snooping around my private quarters. Terrible thing, having one's privacy encroached upon. I told him to never return or I'd have Betu chase him out. I admit, well enough, he's known me since my courtship years with Uriel. He causes his fair share of mischief, but Lady Weatherly could never bring herself to get rid of him. After all, Betu was her... The dog has a penchant for stealing what isn't his. I usually ask our gardener to wrangle him, but as you can see, he hasn't done a very good job.
Go on then, ask me how I returned. It's the only question anyone seems to have for me. Uriel Weatherly, back from the dead. It's laughable. 6 years ago, I left to fight in Varen's revolt. I was gravely wounded and left for dead, and would have died, had a caravan of Khajiit not stumbled upon me and taken pity. The Khajiit could heal my wounds. Every single one. I rode with the caravan until I was fully healed. It wasn't until we rode into Skingrad that... Some things, yes. But there are still heavy clouds. For instance, it's clear Mother's riddle was meant for me, but I can't make sense of it. I can only hope I fear Aquilia has merely succumbed to her own grief, chasing phantasms with bloody daggers. My mother was a wonderful woman who died a simple death. From what I've been told, my mother lived her final years grieving in isolation. My dear wife Pelena did her best to keep her company, but my mother had no friends or visitors. Aside from all this talk of suspects when the woman simply fell. Though I suppose Thunderboots would not be here if the death weren't suspicious. Speak with the staff yourself if you...
The gardener found Lady Weatherly's body. We should speak to him next.
There you go, Betu. Baths aren't so bad. Apologies for Betu's earlier mischief. I hope he didn't damage the will. He's normally better behaved, but... Yes, I had taken over kitchen duties while Edric was away. I was restocking the pantry after returning from the market when I heard a loud crashing noise from the library. I thought Betu might have knocked something over in the library, but when I went to check, the door was blocked by something heavy. By the time I wedged myself through, it was too late. Yes, she was lying on the floor, motionless. One of the ladders had fallen and there were books scattered. No, Lady Weatherly was the only one in the library. Betu is usually plastered to the lady's side, but he wasn't in the library. He was shut up in Pelena's room. I wonder why she... Well, Pelena keeps going on about Edric, our cook. She says he was acting suspiciously leading up to her death. But for what it's worth...
You won't learn anything from those scheming charlatans, that's for sure. Lost memories, please. Children can weave better stories than that drivel. I'll say it again, stranger. You should leave this place. No. Lady Pelena had all but run me out by then. Lady Weatherly couldn't bring herself to fire me, but I thought some time away would do us all some good. Worst decision of my life, I tell you that. It's my own fault, honestly. Something always felt off to me about Lady Pelena. She never seemed too torn up about Uriel's death. I was convinced she was hiding something, but turns out she caught me going through her things. A terrible thing, I know, but I don't regret it. Some things deserve to be brought...
Let us investigate the library. The library is to the left. Your other left. We must study the scene carefully. Look for anything out of place. Certainly a ladder couldn't have caused this much damage to the statue. You are certain this is where you found her body?
Yes. I'll never forget the sight of her lying there.
Quite the mess for a simple fall, don't you think? Was that window already broken?
No. It was definitely intact before Lady Weatherly's death.
Something has broken the glass. Perhaps this was an escape route. Music has seen enough. No blood, a broken window, and a fractured statue with no explanation as to how it was damaged. Music feels that there is something just out of reach of this one's claws. The details don't add up. Investigations always require some stretch of the imagination, but to make sense of this crime scene would be to dream up a work of fantasy. Perhaps the fantasy is the clue. Only a panicked hand could make such messy brushstrokes. Could Otho's arrival from the market have startled the suspect, leading them to block the door and escape out of the broken window? But then why create such an elaborate scene? A fall is simple enough, a tidy portrait. We should continue to investigate this broken window. Perhaps...
I would never hurt Lady Weatherly.
Until the investigation is complete, everyone is a suspect. The library exterior is just around the corner. Betu, what is he sniffing? Betu found a key. And look, it seems Betu wants us to follow him. Moons above. Is that Edric? So this is the memorial Lady Weatherly built for her son. A confession, and a flowery one at that. Mizik isn't sure what to make of this. Tea. This one smells ginger, hibiscus, and something else. Something sickly. Edric's tankard. There seems to be a suspicious residue inside. Mizik's snout wrinkles at the stench of both fresh and old death. Betu led us to the memorial of the lost Uriel Weatherly, and now we find the cook freshly poisoned. Why would Edric lead us to Uriel's memorial and then kill himself? And earlier, the cook warned us of some mysterious danger. Could he have met the fate he was trying to save us from? Too many bodies and cryptic messages for this one's liking. The note says that Edric served Lady Weatherly poisoned tea the day she died, but the cook had already left the grounds. Otho confirmed that himself. And this letter says that Pelena was present for tea, but she said she was out all morning. A good question, but the memorial may be a greater clue. Lady Weatherly had gone to great lengths to find her son, but was certain of his death to raise this memorial. We know the real Uriel went to fight in Veren's revolt, and that Lady Weatherly spent a fortune to find his body. We also know from the note in the lady's study that Pelena was again... Yes, our masquerading rogue. The cook was certain that he was an impostor, but what about the others? Aquilia has her suspicions, but shouldn't Pelena have known? Why hasn't she raised alarm bells and told the others? And he was the only one who could have ended the impostor's ruse. But then there is Edric's confession. Could it be a forgery to throw us off the trail? Or a convenient... We should question the impostor. But we mustn't let on that we know his gambit. I also have my reservations about the once and again widowed Pelena. If anyone else was aware of his ruse, it would be her. So why hasn't she said anything? Steady yourself as we approach the impostor, Uriel. This ruse may not be his own. We know the real Uriel went to... Yes.
What is with all the questions, cousin? Aren't you happy to see me?
There's our imposter. Talk to him, friend.
Our intrepid investigators! Pelena and I were just arguing over what to do with my mother's estate. Marriage squabbles. Have you made progress with that mysterious riddle? I can fetch her if you'd like. She just went into the kitchen. The cook, you say? Well, as close as any young heir is with their staff. Now that I think about it, I always did find him strange. Always one for the shadows. I'm glad Pelena saw fit to fire him. I only wish I were here to do it myself. Dead? What a ghastly turn of events! Hold on. Another memory is coming back to me. Yes. The cook always had a secret love for my mother. Was it grief that led him to kill himself? It must have been. You don't think he also killed Mother? Oh, yes, of course. No, I must have gotten ahead of myself. Yes, that's it. All this death, Thought I left it behind on the battlefield, but...
Thank you, Uriel. That's all. We should speak to Pelena next, Traveler.
There's been another murder? The killer could come for any one of us next.
Nonsense. It's clear Edric was a troubled man who killed Lady Weatherly and took his own life.
Maybe so, but I'm not leaving this room just yet.
Oh, Mizik, do you have updates on your investigation? Mizik, Traveler, how fares the investigation? With so much still left to speculation, I've found myself wandering the grounds, trying to keep my hands busy. I hoped... Edric? A murderer? I'm astonished. I guess I was right to be suspicious of him, but now I wish I'd had him jailed when I could have. What a travesty. At least now we have some closure, and can focus on the missing fortune. Well, the lady and I had intended to meet that morning, but it slipped my mind. If the tea was poisoned, wouldn't that make Otho the suspect? With Edric away, he would have been the one to brew the tea for Lady Weatherly. I haven't the expertise, of course, to make such an accusation, but I do wonder. Otho and Edric have worked the estate for ages. Could they have felt entitled to a cut of the fortune? Useless speculation, perhaps, but the mind does wander.
Thank you, Pelena. We will investigate all lingering threads. Traveler, let's speak with the gardener next.
Betu seems to have run off again. It's embarrassing, really. You'd think I'd be better at keeping a handle on him, but the dog... It had become one of my daily duties while Edric was away. I usually try to brew her a pot before I leave for the market. Apologies for not mentioning that earlier. My daily tasks have become innumerable. Edric is dead. I can't believe it. No, he'd never hurt Lady Weatherly. We were like a family. Wait, the recipe for the lady's tea is wrong. She's always found ginger to be too overwhelming. Are you sure Edric wrote this? He couldn't have. He'd never make a mistake like that. And he was nowhere near the tea that morning. I started a pot for Lady Weatherly, and Pelena took over brewing it before I left. Strange. She was most definitely here. She even offered to finish brewing it. I've been so busy as of late that I accepted her offer. It's not every day Pelena lends a hand. She usually has it in her bedchambers, but the room's been locked this whole time. It seems in the commotion the key has been misplaced.
Mizik recalls a gilded key revealed to us by Betu.
If you already found the missing key, you may be able to unlock Lady Weatherly's bedchambers.
If the room has truly been locked this whole time, then not even the killer could re-enter. Let us see if we can find any clues among the mess. This scrap of fabric seems to have been torn from an expensive dress. The residue on that teacup stinks with the same foul smell as the tainted tea we found with Edric's body. If this letter is true, then Pelena played a role in Uriel's death. And this signature. Is this the name of our resident imposter? Mizik would like to hear your thoughts on what we found. This note seems to confirm that Pelena Weatherly had her husband killed while he was away from the estate. Did Lady Weatherly read it first and confront Pelena with the truth? Indeed. Pelena may have sensed an end to her cozy life. Killing Lady Weatherly before the imposter's arrival would secure her the fortune. She couldn't have known it. A poisoned cup of tea would bring unwanted attention to Lady Weatherly's death. Pelena's only option would have been to stage the scene. A fall from a ladder at the lady's age? Mizik can already imagine the solemn nods of acceptance. They must have brokered an agreement. Ride out the storm of Lady Weatherly's death and come out the other side rich. But they've stumbled along the way thanks to a curious cook and a meddling Mizik. Mizik heard a scream from down the hall. We must hurry.
He's dead! Someone killed him!
Betu? Betu, what's wrong, boy? Nobody leaves until Mizik finds out what happened. Traveler, there's something by the body. Quick!
We have to help him. Something has made Betu terribly ill. I've never seen him so scared. Wait. I recognize this smell. Yes, I couldn't place it until now. We used this poison around the estate grounds. Yes, in the pantry. I kept a tin of medicinal herbs for this very occasion.
Quickly, friend. Search the pantry. Mizik hopes we can save
Please,
at least
don't
one life today.
worry about...
Betu! He's recovering. The herbs must be working.
Wonderful news. Traveler, let's discuss the note you found with our imposter. Our imposter is dead, and our killer nearly succeeded in taking Betu's life as well. It is also not lost on Mizik the lengths the cook went to protect Lady Weatherly. This one hopes she knew how dearly she was loved by her staff. She must be held accountable for her crimes.
Betu? What is it? Where are you going?
Quickly, follow that dog. Good boy, Betu. tunnels seem to run under the entire property.
Mizek needs to stop doing that.
Get away from me, you beast!
Oh dear, I hear Helena's voice. She must be nearby.
Damn dog! How are you still alive? I've committed no wrong. That man was an imposter. If I hadn't... I've committed no wrong. How could you possibly say that? Whose inane rambling convinced you of such nonsensical drivel? Everyone is out to damn this rotting estate. Everything I did, everyone I killed, I did it for my own survival. I hope it crumbles.
Helena, why would you hurt Betu?
Because this whole family can rot for all I care.
I can't believe it.
Everything...
You've done great work today, Traveler. The air is heavy with death. But just like the sun, Helena will be delivered to Skingrad. With the evidence in hand, she should face charges for the deaths of Uriel. To think this one nearly forgot about our remaining golden thread. Aquilia is the only living relative. Mizek supposes she will inherit the fortune. Fortune aside, what we accomplished today is no small feat. If the fortune was to be found, we'd have stumbled.
What have you got there, boy?
It seems Betu has brought us something. Betu, where did you find this? Betu? Otto, escort Helena back to the manor. We will follow the dog. Lady Weatherly must have left that note before her death. We should show it to Aquilia. Feeling a bit...
Helena! Is it true? After everything my aunt did for you.
I don't owe you an explanation, Aquilia. Everything was going fine until that idiot...
I can't believe Betu was so brave.
Otho did his best to explain your findings. But is it really true? I thought she was acting strangely, but I blamed it on the grief. I would never have expected her to be capable of all this. And what of Uriel? What was his role in all this? I knew something was off about him. But to think he also played a role in killing my cousin. Lady Weatherly gave Helena a comfortable life, looked after her every need. All this death, in the pursuit of an absent fortune. Betu was safeguarding the fortune this whole time? It's a strange request, leaving the remaining fortune to Betu and her staff? But I wouldn't dare go against my aunt.
You have got to be joking. The dog...
I can't believe it. There must be some mistake.
There's no mistake, Otho. I will help oversee the transfer of ownership. You and Betu will have all your needs seen to.
Excellent work, my friend. Let us speak. Many lives were lost, despite our best efforts. There is certainly joy to be found in our success, but this one will spend many a night wondering if there was more that could be done. Perhaps he is not as good an investigator as he thought. Do not downplay... Yes, and Mizik could not have done it without you. But...
I've always preferred cats. But you've made a good argument for dogs, Betu.
This one thinks Betu likes you.
Oh, well, you do seem like a very good boy. I'll be sure to order a lifetime supply of steak dinners.
Welcome, Proxy. Let us speak before we go inside. This is Ellenglyn, an Ayleid ruin. I expected to find the recollection here, as they have been searching similar ruins throughout the area. They did not disappoint. I sense an aura of Daedric power as well. Perhaps that aura drew them here. Indeed. I sense an ancient Daedric shrine in these ruins, although I have no idea which prince it honors. If we find the shrine, we may uncover the recollection's purpose here. Do you still have the Econyr, Proxy? Hermaeus Mora forged the Econyr to reveal memories related to Athelia. It was one of the relics instrumental in defeating the Forgotten Prince and eliminating any lingering memories. Hopefully the Econyr can help us in our investigations. The Econyr causes memories pertaining to Athelia to become visible as nebulous manifestations. When you discover one, simply hold forth the Econyr. The relic makes the memory unfold before your eyes. I foresee that you will need it, Proxy. Between the recollection and the dangers inherent in most ruins, I suggest caution. My research revealed that Ellenglen contains a maze filled with deadly traps. We must reach the heart of the maze to find a way through. I am ready when you are. I am hardly an many aliens. That remains a... Be wary. If I sensed the presence of Daedric power, the recollection likely noticed it as well. They have met some of Ellenglen's dangers.
Grendel was with us in that fight.
How can I help?
Restore your strength. Let fate renew your vigor, Practice.
Any battle we can walk away from, eh?
We found the shrine. But who is... Oh, that is Athelia. Perhaps you can talk to her, Proxy.
I do not recognize you, yet you seem familiar. Almost like this shrine. I know I should remember it, but I do not. Tell me, what is this place? Why am I drawn here? A Daedric prince. Yes, I remember. That was what mortals called me. But Elendglin is a proud citadel, not a crumbling ruin. Its people are wise and beautiful. They worship me. Wait. I sense something. And another memory. Hermaeus Mora. The Echenir. Yes. That is what the Abyssal Cephaliarch called it. A clever little device he wrought to find and remove things that belonged to me. So let us see what Mora
risk everything, Athelia. You must forsake the many paths.
You seek to diminish my prince. Why should she agree to such a demand?
To preserve reality. Her willfulness threatens all of existence.
You let your fear control you and foresee an apocalypse that will never be. Depart, Mora!
Athelia disappeared as soon as the memory ended. Let us speak outside. Let us review what we saw in the ruins, Proxy. Now it becomes clear. The recollection also seeks Athelia. They hope to find her visiting places she once knew, just as we did. Yet Athelia seems confused. I do not think she has fully regained her memories or truly understands what happened to her. I believe we witnessed the moment Hermaeus Mora first confronted Athelia about the danger she posed to reality. And we saw that she refused to heed him. It is a hard thing for any creature to change its nature, especially for a Daedric prince. One more piece of the puzzle remains, Proxy. You still need to investigate Rustwall Estate. Determine why the threads of fate there are frayed. When you are finished, find me at Baragon's townhouse in Skingrad.
Let's go.
Oh, nice. What did you find? Be nice to get off my feet.
Oh, you look like just the sort of heroic warrior I could use. My family's farm is facing some goblin problems. My uncle Octavius is going to hire some hunters to cull the goblins. But the goblins haven't done anything to... She's a goblin researcher. I don't have... They're not... Yeah!
I bet I can bang the dents from my armor while we're in town.
Does Jester have one essence? To join in on this...
If you have any friends, you might want to ask them to join you. Our leader can speak to it more than I can.
We cannot...
The Legion has need of you.
So much wealth, but everyone here is so poor in spirit.
The sort of thing.
You look familiar. Pretty sure I saw you talking to Placidia Menonius. Remember that name. Keeps treasures all about her home not far from here. Doesn't seem to care if any go missing. Friendly cat, too. For now, watch yourself out.
I know. The law won't forget our mistakes, but this time we do the right thing. We can catch this coward. Together. Good timing, friend. Come, let's give the others some space. Good, you're back. My old comrades showed up shortly before you did. Thank you for getting them here. We all came to an understanding. If the law won't deal with whoever's killing the Scarlets, the job falls to us. There are a few souls down here who owe me favors. They keep their ears to the ground. If anyone hears a whisper about this murderer, we'll know. Naku, the squad's sapper. He was a hard one to track down, so I focused on back wallowing in the dirt just like the old days. He's prospecting down south of the city at some played-out mine. Naku's as stubborn as a stump, but if you got knives to part with his drink, however briefly, and I don't relish telling that particular story. When the Longhouse Emperor was defeated at Solitude, he punished Legionnaires. Not at first. We decided... she did. Well, it's an embarrassing memory.
The hero of Feldegard. Great timing. Seems you have a knack for showing up when I need assistance. Look around. No people. Strange, right? I detached an entire Legion cohort to guard this estate, but no one's here. Where could they all be? I remember when the Legion didn't have to rely on mercenaries. Still, I'd appreciate the help. Once more, I designate Count Calantius. Seems everyone left in a hurry. Take a look around. Someone attacked the servant this belonged to. Servants light this when there's danger, to warn others away. The captain planned to hide, but where? We need to find Captain Laronis. Meet me at the barracks on the south side of the estate. Back here, comrade. I found Captain Laronis. What a loss. I found that letter clutched in his hand. The servants are hiding in the catacombs. Let's talk. The bloody clothes and the warning candle suggest someone or something attacked Rustwall. And we know Captain Laronis was working on a plan. I hope to find him alive, but the letter from the groundskeeper tells us more than we knew before. Not as grim as it sounds. The Count ordered the catacombs converted into a shelter a while back. He wanted a place for anyone in residence to hide should war sweep over Colovia. Let's hope the rest of the cohort and the servants are safe and secure. Groundskeeper Gaius is a tough old hedge snipper. We need to find him and get his key to open the catacombs. Then we can see how much of the cohort and household staff survived whatever happened here. Let's check Gaius. Groundskeeper Gaius's home is just down the hill to the east. We fought side about 3... Gaius? Are you here? It's Tribune Alea.
Tribune? Thank the Divines. Are they gone?
Who, Gaius? Who attacked Rustwall?
I'm glad to see Tribune Alea, but she certainly took her sweet time. We've had all sorts of problems here. Did you bring reinforcements? Captain Laronis sent the remaining... Dead? Damn shame. He was tolerable as far as Legion officers go. He had a good plan, too. while he hid everyone who was left in the catacombs. It had to be some sort of enemy army, but all I ever saw were a few wood elves sneaking around the grounds. We need to let everyone in the catacombs know it's safe to come out. I stashed the key inside the old statue in the garden. Don't worry, I'll draw you a map. Just be careful wandering in the garden. When the legionaries showed up, we felt a lot safer. A little security in these troubled times. Then, one by one, soldiers started disappearing. Captain Laronis suspected an enemy was picking the cohort off one by one. He expected a full-scale attack, so he sent the staff into the catacombs with the remaining legionaries to protect them. I hid here until you and the... Other than the wood elves I spotted sneaking around, we never saw the enemy. And the only evidence of foul play was the bloody armor I found. Captain Laronis assumed it was brigands looking to rob the estate. When the legionaries showed up, we felt a lot safer. A little... Captain Lu? When the legionary... I've been...
Grab the map and let's go. We need that key. The gardens are just east of here, down the hill. The Rustwall Gardens. Our map indicates a spot on the western side. These insects, they're from deep underground.
Side by side.
What drove them to the surface? Move out. We need to find my cohort.
That was it, right? Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Look, down there.
Still no sign of the escaped legionary, Shard Marshal. No matter, Immortal. More of our forces will come through soon.
As you say, Shard Marshal Vargas. We have more than enough weapons now.
That Wood Elf, he's with the Recollection. And he's taking orders from a Dremora? What's going on here? This furniture was meant for the comfort of dignitaries who took refuge here, not for these Recollection bastards.
Over by the gate.
By my sword, a legionary. Report, soldier.
Hate to bring bad news to the Tribune, but I'm the only member of the cohort left. Those Recollection zealots killed legionaries guarding the estate. I got lucky. I fell behind to adjust a loose bootstrap. When I heard the attack start, I slipped into the shadows and have been running ever since. Go east, and I've become pretty... almost positive. They weren't soldiers. I've become...
Legionary Capio is right. We need to shut down that portal. Down into the ruins. We've got to close that portal. Capio said the Daedric portal was to the east. These ruins were. They're certainly older than this place itself.
doing?
That closed the portal. Good work. Now, let's find a way out of here.
This way, Tribune. Follow the tracks.
Over here, comrade. Let's talk. My cohort almost completely destroyed. The Rustwall staff almost all dead. Even Shard Marshal Vargas managed to escape us again. The threads of fate? That sounds ominous. With the portal closed and consider your temporary here. That's up to Count Calais.
Why did I have to leave it until the last possible moment?
The tales we'll tell. To stand against us.
the new forest worries me. Nothing natural ever grew that quickly.
It's those wood elves. Davenwood is trying to annex territory that is rightfully ours.
Maybe. But the wood elves of Vashavar claim their intentions are peaceful.
Welcome to my... I can't believe we found a corrupted seed at Ostermere. That the recollection somehow caused an invasion launched from Rostwall Estate would have taken Skingrad by reputation. We only just met. I know she does troubleshooting for Count Calantius, so I figured I might run into her eventually. Ethelia, the Daedric prince you and Laramil are looking for? You met her? Incredible! But why is the recollection...
Our initial investigations are complete. Encountering a material confirmation of... that is, I thought it would take longer for us to find and confront Ethelia in person. We determined that my suspicion... that the recollection and the Miramor... trust in...
I think I have an idea. I've been thinking about Ostermere and your investigations with Laramil and Tribune Alea. The recollection was involved each time. Here. Yes, you plundering ancient ruins.
Goblin just attacked me, Pym. My niece is missing. I'm hiring the hunters.
Give me more time. I can figure out what's upsetting them. I can calm them down.
Sorry, Goblin researcher.
Hiring hunters isn't the way to solve this problem. These goblins are more aggressive than usual. It's almost as if they're getting ready for war. If searching through a few goblin camps to see what's upsetting them is all it takes to stop a tragedy from... It'll be hard to miss the bitter victory. Same way you study anything. What we'll be doing won't strip...